Well, I see. I could have worn when I first put on relaxing certain parts of your body. As long as you're not upset that this isn't your body.
Halfway done.
And black.
It Good morning. And thank you, choir. Don't they look and sound fine this morning? Yeah. It's great to have you here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Bienvenidos to the North Parish of North Andover, a Unitarian Universalist congregation on this snowy and cold and beautiful December Sunday, and this, the darkest time of year in the Northern Hemisphere. In the Christian faith, this is the third week of Advent. We are also 1 week away from the winter solstice, the longest night and shortest day of the year, which we will celebrate next Sunday. Tonight is also the first night of Hanukkah, which begins after sunset and lasts 8 nights until Monday night, the 22nd. And we will be honoring this story in song and story today. A special welcome to any visitors or newcomers. Welcome to those who are joining us remotely via Zoom. There is a camera in the back, and I can see folks down here, at least those who have their cameras on. Good to see you. Whatever this season looks like for you, whatever absences or longings are with you today, whatever sorrows and tragedies are in your hearts, whatever joys, welcome. Whoever you are, however you find yourself this morning, right now, wherever you are and whomever you love, here you are welcome. Let's take a look around at each other and turn and, whether we are on Zoom or in person, and take a moment to say good morning and happy Hanukkah. Good morning. If we are well greeted, our opening words are adapted from Israel Zangwill. Come into the circle of love and justice. Come into the community of mercy, holiness, and health. Come and you shall know peace and joy. Welcome, welcome this morning. It is a beautiful and difficult morning, but here we are together. Let's join in singing. Our opening hymn is number 394. It's Hava Nashira. Let's practice those words. Can we all say Hava Nashira? Hava Nashira. Beautiful. And the choir is going to teach us this song for those of you who do not know it.
Right. Hava Nashira, Shir Alleluia. So choir, would you help sing the first line, and then we can all echo. Ready? And Hava Nashira, Shir Alleluia. Let's try that. And Hava Nashira, Shir Alleluia. Very good. The second line goes like this. Hava Nashira, Shir Alleluia. Try that. Ready? Hava Shira, Shira, Alleluia. And the last line is Hava Shira, Shira, Alleluia. Try that last line. Hava Shira, Shira, Alleluia. All right, I think we're ready from the beginning. Here we go.
Shir, Alleluia. Good morning and welcome again to our service. My name is Betsy and I'm your worship assistant today. Again, a special welcome to visitors, newcomers, and our newest members. I have a few announcements to share. We ask everyone to put their phones in worship mode for the next hour. If you are a newcomer, you'll find visitor cards in the pews. They're yellow. We invite you to fill one out and put it in the collection plate. There are stairs near the entry and an elevator through the door to my right. And we often show applause by using the American Sign Language like this. At North Parish, we know this can be a tough time of year for folks. Please join us after the service for our second Sunday lunch and Hanukkah party. You can read in the order of worship about other events, including our services on Christmas Eve and tonight's holiday concert fundraiser for Third Baptist Church in the Methuen Music Hall, featuring the Third Baptist Choir joined by several of our singers and our music director, John Middleton-Cox, performing and the three tenors. There are other announcements in the order of worship. Those zooming into the service from home may wish to light their chalices, and I'll invite Emma Stanton, J.R. Encarnacion, and their children, Winston and Jude, to light our own sanctuary chalice, and the first 3 candles of our Advent wreath, which symbolize our longings for hope, peace, and joy. When you will join me in our chalice lighting words, which are written in the order of service. We light these candles for hope. May we find hope within us, hope for those around us, hope for all beings and our beautiful world.
Thank you. We have our Advent wreath going, our chalice going, and I'm going to invite Marcia forward to light the first candle of our Hanukkah or menorah in honor of the first night of Hanukkah tonight. Thank you, Marcia. So who can tell me about the story of Hanukkah, and why does it last 8 nights? Anybody? Anybody? Well, besides Marcia. Any of the young people out there? All right. Well, okay, I know. Trick quiz this morning. It's Sunday morning, and it's snowy out. And so we're all a little sleepy. What about the choir? Why is Hanukkah celebrated for 8 nights?
That's how long the oil lasts.
The oil lasted for 8 nights. Right. Very good. Okay. So, but Hanukkah is actually a part of a bigger story about religious freedom. The story comes from a time when the Syrian Empire took over the land where Jewish people lived, and the Syrian emperor was a big bully. And he had an army, and he made it illegal to be Jewish. How can you do that? How can you make somebody to be illegal? It's weird. He said that anyone who practiced Jewish customs would be killed, and some of the Jews decided to fight back. But they only had small numbers of fighters. And as I said, the emperor had an army. So it looked like it was going to be impossible to win, right? Impossible. So when the emperor's armies took over the land, they also took over a very special place for the Jewish people, the temple. And there was very special, it was like our sanctuary is for us, right? And they turned it into a temple for Greek gods. They named it after the Greek god Zeus. They put up idols or statues of Greek gods for people to worship, and they burned the holy books. They sacrificed animals, pigs, inside the temple, and they spilled the oil that was used to light their very special lamp, which is kind of like our chalice here. Our chalice here is a light that uses oil in the same way. So it was kind of like the Syrian soldiers made a list of everything that would make the Jews feel really, really upset and bad. And then they just went down the list and checked things off. And they did it on purpose because they wanted the Jewish people to feel awful and hopeless and defeated. And they wanted to just stamp out their spirit. Well, when the Jewish soldiers won the battle and they found their temple ruined, what do you think they did? They cried. They cried. That's how the story goes. Those soldiers cried. And they were just so sad, and maybe they were crying tears of anger too. But after they had a good cry, they got to work. And they cleaned things up, and they searched and searched until they found one vial of oil that they could use to keep their special lamp burning for just one night. So they used that oil to light the lamp, and that little bit of oil, like the choir said, lasted 8 nights. So we say that is the miracle. I think it's a miracle that their spirit didn't get stomped out. So what do you think we would do if someone came in here and tried to ruin our sanctuary to get us upset on purpose? Maybe they broke things, maybe they topped the pulpit over, burned our hymnals, put up statues of gods they thought we should worship, maybe paint mean things on the walls. What do you think we would do? I would cry first. I think we would be really, really, really upset. But then, yes, we would clean it up. And then what if we found our chalice still had a little bit of oil in there, but only enough to burn for one service, and it would be 2 months before we got more oil? Do you think we would light our chalice? Yeah, I think we would light our chalice, and we'd be very excited if that oil actually lasted for 2 months. So I have another version of this story. What do you think we would do if somebody wanted to destroy our most special, beloved places in nature? Maybe some of the places where we get water for our water communion in September. What if they went in and chopped down all the trees or tried to poison the animals? What do you think we would do?
Fight.
We would cry. I would cry. I don't know. Would you cry? I think I would cry. And then what would we do? We would clean it up. Yeah, we might plant some seeds, right? We might take away the poison, try to rehabilitate the animals. I hope so. That's what we would do. So for some people, the story of Hanukkah might be a story about God performing miracles, about oil lasting for 8 nights. But this year, I'm thinking about how communities respond when bullies are mean to us on purpose. And when people are mean, we need time to cry and to feel sad or angry or outraged. But that's not all. That's not the end of the story. We also need to join together in our communities and start cleaning up, fixing what's broken, and light our chalices, which is a symbol that our spirits are not defeated. So that's one way we build hope together. So let's keep our chalices burning, whether you have them on at home or in our sanctuary. Let's keep those chalices burning. Let's sing our young people on their way to their groups this morning. You'll find the words in your order of service. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. I'd like to take a moment this morning to introduce Jackie Orant-Nathan, who some of you know is the head of our immigration task force. And our outreach offering for the whole month of December is in your e-news, it's in your order of service. One of the three recipients is the Merrimack Valley Project, which is accepting money on behalf of a network, a local Luce network. And Jackie just wanted to tell you a little bit of story about one of the people who is impacted by that effort. If you're not going to be here next week, if you are traveling, first of all, we will miss you. But you can also give to the outreach offering if you'd like online. Jackie.
I just wanted to mention, too, I feel like in the Hanukkah story that Jewish people all of a sudden became illegal, and that's exactly what's happening now. And you don't even have to be an immigrant. You might just have black or brown skin, and all of a sudden you're illegal. But this is one story from immigrants that are living in our community. M's partner was detained in Lawrence back in May and was taken to a detention facility in the Southwest. After a grueling wait for an asylum hearing while he was in detention, M's partner lost his case and is waiting for deportation. M has a small 2-year-old son who is very joyful and energetic. She is currently trying to provide for her son, working 2 hard manual labor jobs, paying for childcare, and now a sole provider. She also provides some support to her family back home in Ecuador, who fled their home country as a result of political repression. On top of this, she is also now paying off the debt she has acquired from legal fees from her husband's court proceedings. M is asking for support getting back on her feet during these difficult times.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you for your leadership and your work. As I mentioned, that is the Merrimack Valley Project will be one of the recipients, one of 3 recipients for our Christmas Eve offering, which is also our outreach for the month of December. Our reading is called The Gates of Hope by the Reverend Victoria Stafford. Our mission is to plant ourselves at the gates of hope. Not the prudent gates of optimism, which are somewhat narrower, not the stalwart, boring gates of common sense, nor the strident gates of self-righteousness, which creak on shrill and angry hinges. People cannot hear us there. They cannot pass through. Nor the cheerful, flimsy garden gate of everything's gonna be all right. This is a different, sometimes lonely place, the place of truth-telling about your own soul first and its condition. It's a place of resistance and defiance, the piece of ground from which you see the world both as it is and as it could be, as it will be. It is the place from which you glimpse not only struggle, but the joy of the struggle. And we stand there, beckoning and calling, telling people what we are seeing, and asking people what they see. Here ends our reading. I invite us into a time of meditation, contemplation, prayer, each in their own way. You may follow your breath or just stare out these gorgeous windows this morning, listen to the music. During this time, if you'd like to come forward to light a candle of remembrance, of joy or sorrow, you're invited to do so. If you'd like me to share with the congregation your thoughts, please write them on one of the yellow slips of paper. So let's take a breath and offer ourselves a little bit of compassion. Offer some compassion to those around us as we begin this time of meditation.
With your captive truth.
I light this first candle to represent our sorrows and the burdens that we're carrying today and those whom we are remembering, including these from Jackie or Nathan. A close friend has been in the hospital for the past month and now has lost his sight and has to come home blind. Our hope for support for him and for all who are suffering. We have candles for those lost in the last 24 hours to gun violence. From Ruth and from Gail Forsyth Vail, both graduates of Brown University, a sorrow for everyone affected in body and mind by the violence at Brown last night, for faculty, students, staff, and their families, and for the entire city of Providence after that heartbreaking news of another campus shooting. And also those who were killed in Australia. On this first day of Hanukkah, a temple in Australia, Bond Beach, was attacked with 9 killed, over 20 wounded. Please pray for all those affected and for the end of gun violence. And yes, continued deep sorrow about the Jews killed in Australia on the first night of Hanukkah, for all the victims of violence in the last 24 hours, and also those among us who are raising children in this environment. May love and support fly to the families of these victims from every source. I light this candle to represent the joy and gratitude that sustains us, that gets us through these days, including these. All blessings to Ahmed El Ahmed, who risked his life and disarmed one of the shooters in Australia. May his incredible bravery be a beacon of hope in these times. We have one among us, Renee Huckstra, who is dealing with a sick cat who is on the mend with new medication, and she is celebrating her 50th birthday weekend with her sister. Hooray for family that sustains us. Yay, welcome. Grateful to have attended the winter solstice reflections of winter light at the Mount Auburn Cemetery last night. A truly serene and magical experience of light, sound, and peaceful atmosphere that Michelle highly recommends. And from Keith, for the beautiful season of winter, for blankets of snow, reflective ponds of ice and icicles, and cold, crisp, invigorating air reminding us of life itself. My wish is that we fight to preserve this wondrous, inspiring season for generations to come. May we be kind in our language to this beautiful season. I like this candle as a symbol of the support and love and hope that we hold for all who are struggling in body, mind, or spirit, for the secret and silent struggles of every person. This community is here for you. And a final candle for our joys and our sorrows for our world community and all beings. Will you join with me in the spoken response, which is printed in your order of service? In our joys and in our sorrows, we are not alone. The choir is going to sing to us. Thank you, choir. This morning's offering is going to sustain the mission of the congregation. If you'd like to give to the outreach offering and won't be here for Christmas Eve, please go to our website online and you can find a way to give there. I was so eager to hear that, I skipped over our whole meditation. And I would like to invite us, before I preach, to take some of that meditative time. One of the candles that I lit was on behalf of our sister congregation in Providence, where my dear friend Liz is the minister. They are not able to meet in person this morning because the area is still locked down. So may our hearts be with them. Let's take a moment for silence and reflection. I'd like to offer some words also by the Reverend Michelle Collins. If you so choose, I invite you to reflect on perhaps one hope that you have right now for your own life. Perhaps one of many. I wonder if, when you are feeling tired, you may allow the rest of us to help hold that hope with you and for you. If you choose, I invite you to consider one hope that you have for this congregation or for life in the Merrimack Valley. Just one. When you are tired, can you allow the rest of us to help hold that hope for you? In the words of Reverend Collins, Spirit of life, we come carrying the burdens of our own discouragements, jobs that didn't work out, relationships that have ended, dreams deferred once again. Some mornings it feels easier to stay in bed than face another day of uncertainty, yet here we are, gathered in this place that reminds us hope is not a feeling we wait for, but a choice that we make. Hold gently those among us who struggle to find reasons for hope, whose depression whispers lies about their worth, whose anxiety paints tomorrow in fearful colors. Grant us patience with our own healing and compassion for our stumbling toward wholeness. May we learn that hope is not the absence of struggle, but the decision to keep walking through it. Help us remember that even our smallest steps forward matter. That courage comes not from feeling brave, but from acting despite our fear. May we find hope in unexpected places, in the kindness of strangers, in our own capacity to survive, in this community that holds us when we cannot hold ourselves. Blessed be, and Ashe, and Amen. Earlier this morning, I invited everyone to imagine what it would be like if an empire or soldiers following the directive of an empire set out to ruin everything that is most sacred to us on purpose. It's kind of a disturbing thing to imagine, right? Sorry to do that to you this morning. The holiday of Hanukkah is a joyful one. But the story is about the Syrian emperor, Antiochus, who made observing Judaism a capital crime. He was a bully, no regard for the lives of those he considered beneath him, kind of a predator type who sought out the most vulnerable minorities in his empire to eliminate. He had the power to make laws and direct armies who were quite willing to do his bidding. And he didn't even try to hide this pro-death, anti-life directive stance of him. These were really terrifying times. That's where the story comes from. Just briefly to give you an idea, the story says that on one occasion, 2 Jewish mothers were caught and they were paraded through the streets of Jerusalem and then executed along with their infants. I mean, this is horrible. No wonder the Maccabees took up arms. The story says it took 3 years of fighting, 3 years for the revolutionaries to oust the Syrian troops from Palestine. Hanukkah is a happy holiday. It has presents. It has chocolate gelt. It has food, lots of food cooked in oil, like the potato latkes we're going to have downstairs. Who brought potato latkes this morning? All right. Yeah, I know. You all ready to go now. It's just that the story it references is full of violence and desperation, the kind of story that a lot of people are still living in today in various places far away throughout the world and perhaps closer by. So how then do we speak of hope this Advent, this Hanukkah? Last week I shared Rebecca Solnit's idea of what we might call shadow hope, hope found in darkness. You might recall, if you were here, she said to look for hope in the people who are inventing the world while nobody looks. The anonymous, the unseen, the officially powerless, the visionaries and subversives in the shadows. The Maccabees fighting an empire, they fit into that category. The folks that Jackie told us about this morning, they fit into that category. Jay and her partner, the folks trying to help them. And Jackie's story reminds us not to romanticize these stories. Shadow hope often isn't easy for the unseen folks who are living it. Even those hardened Maccabee soldiers, it is said, wept. They wept when they saw the state of their temple. Theologian and philosopher and social critic Cornel West has something to say about this. He says, hope is inseparable from despair. Those of us who truly hope make despair a constant companion, whom we out-wrestle every day, owing to our commitment to justice, love, and hope. Well, that sounds just lovely, doesn't it? Wrestling with hope every day. Who wants to do that? I'm going to say nobody. Anybody out here want to wrestle every day with despair? Oh. Especially during the holidays? Nobody wants to do that. But some of us don't have an option, whether it's due to our brain chemistry or depression or our personal circumstances or addiction or being swept up in some of these larger waves of anti-life, pro-death policies, family separation, withholding medicine, hunger, war. For many, out-wrestling despair every day is just part of living. How challenging, how courageous, how honorable, So much courage out there. The Buddhist scholar, Joanna Macy, suggests that we honor our despair. Macy is co-author with Chris Johnstone of a book called Active Hope, How to Face the Mess We Are In with Unexpected Resilience and Creative Power. And she writes this, by honoring our despair and not trying to suppress it or pave it over as some personal pathology, we open a gateway into our full vitality and our connection with all of life. Beneath what I call our pain for the world, she says, which includes sorrow and outrage and dread, is the instinct for the preservation of life, Beneath what she calls our pain for the world is the instinct for the preservation of life, source of hope. Well, what do you think? Do humans have an instinct for the preservation of life? Do we? Quiet. Oh, we got some heads shaking in the choir, yeah. Where do you see that? Where might you see it? What happens when that instinct becomes narrowed to an individual quest, a human-centered quest? And what happens when that instinct for the preservation of life opens up and extends outward, beyond ourselves, our own families, our own species? What might happen to our lives if we start looking for that instinct constantly? What happens if we start inhabiting it ourselves? Just 5% more, just 10% more, this desire to preserve life. This desire to preserve life. Would it give us cause for hope? I think so, and I've come up with a name for this kind of hope. You ready? You ready, choir? You'll never guess it. It's written in the order of service. I call it speculative underground hope. Speculative underground hope. Speculative because it takes imagination. It doesn't rely on guarantees of ultimate redemption or success. Cornel West says, hope and optimism are different. Optimism tends to be based on the notion that there's enough evidence already out there to believe things are going to get better. Whereas hope looks at the evidence and says, ooh, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. Maybe that's what the Maccabees said when they saw their destroyed temple. West doesn't leave them there in the rubble. Nope, he says, we got to go beyond the evidence, the current evidence, and create new possibilities based on visions that become contagious and allow people to engage in heroic actions always against the odds. No guarantee whatsoever. Whew, that's a mouthful. We got to go beyond the evidence to create new possibilities based on visions that become contagious and allow people to engage in heroic action, always against the odds. That's hope, he says. I'm a prisoner of hope. I'm going to die a prisoner of hope. I'm with him and everyone else who believes in creating possibilities. I'm with those who believe the future isn't decided, which means we and our co-conspirators can still imagine into being a variety of possible futures. That's speculative hope. But what about this underground part? Why that? Why that word underground? I use that word because quite literally it reminds me to stay grounded, to look down to the earth instead of up to the heavens for divine intervention. I'm calling it underground hope to remind myself that we have millions and billions more co-conspirators than we realize. And not all of them, not even most of them, are even human. All right, you know where I'm going with this. I know many of us have Australia in our minds and hearts this morning. Some of you might remember back to 2019, 2020, they had what's called the Black Summer. 58 million acres were burned in bushfires, 1.5 billion animals displaced or killed. Devastating. But some animals survived, and some of those survived only because of a certain unappreciated marsupial, the bare-nosed common wombat. Yeah, all right. All right for the wombats. In case you're not familiar with them, wombats are not petite. They can be as big as a medium-sized dog, 3 feet long, weigh up to 85 pounds, and they use their considerable claws and teeth to dig these complex, deep burrows, networks, or warrens that help them stay cool in hot summers in Australia. And under normal conditions, scientists have seen gobs of other species, 56 different species, using these warrens for food or water or shelter. During the fires, those tunnels became emergency shelters. They turned into these underground havens, underground heavens for all this life. Who knew? Wombats. When it comes to the instinct to preserve life, wombats are co-conspirators with us. Nobody saw that coming. Am I right? Utterly unexpected messengers of underground hope. My second example comes from 1980. Mount St. Helens erupted. Anyone remember that? Anyone old enough to remember that along with me? It destroyed this eruption, 135 square miles of forest. All in all, ash covered about 22,000 square miles. In the blast zone, the ash was so thick it could bury a car. And this whole vibrant ecosystem was gone in an instant. Devastating, right? Well, 2 years after the eruption, some scientists decided to try an experiment. Who's heard of this? They brought in pocket gophers. Pocket gophers weigh about half a pound. Their bodies are 6 to 8 inches long. And if you've ever had them in your lawn or garden, you know that they too are excellent at digging tunnel systems. Well, the scientists left them in this fenced-off area full of pumice stones like the size of golf balls. And after 24 hours, they took them out. They returned them to their own habitat. Those gophers already made an impact. 24 hours. They dug around in the ash for a day. They brought up fungi and microbes to the surface, and they deposited a few of their own, and the land just exploded again with new life. 6 years later, there were 40,000 plants growing where the gophers had been, and everywhere else it was barren. 40 years later, the positive effects on vegetation could still be seen. A microbiologist named Michael Allen said, "Who would have predicted you could toss a gopher in for a day and see a residual effect 40 years later?" You might not like gophers, but in the right conditions, they are our co-conspirators. They too, an instinct to preserve life. Utterly unexpected messengers of underground hope. Gophers. Joanna Macy writes this. She says, "Beneath what I call our pain for the world is the instinct for the preservation of life." She continues, "If we can be fearless with our pain, look at it, take it in our hands, when we can just be with it and keep breathing, then it turns to reveal its other face. And the other face of the pain of the world is our love for the world. The other face of our pain for the world is our love for the world." And she continues, "That love is bigger than you would ever guess. Bigger than you would ever guess. It's a love so raw, so ancient, so deep, that if you get in touch with it, you can just ride it. You can just ride that love. Nothing can stop you. Nothing's going to stop you." So many of us in this society are prisoners of a limited understanding, one that is individualistic, one centered on humanity, and often the very worst of humanity, right? That's what we hear about in the news. And so much of what we think about in Western nations has to do with personal salvation, whether through the secular pursuits of perhaps financial security and self-improvement, or the religious pursuit of personal salvation in heaven. My heaven is a habitable earth. My hope, it lies in what Deepak Chakrabarty calls habitability. Habitability, that's my heaven. He says it's what makes a planet friendly to the continuous existence of complex life. Heaven is habitability. My speculative underground hope is for the preservation of life, for communal habitability, for heaven on earth. Heaven on earth, like those warrens underground. I'm a prisoner of that hope. I'm a prisoner of that raw, deep, ancient love. And I'm glad to be a prisoner. I can't do anything else. Will you join with me in a time of meditation or prayer? Spirit of life that moves through us and among us and beyond us, so far beyond us. Remind us to honor our despair. Help us to wrestle with hope. Help us to create new possibilities and act against the odds, to create new visions that might become contagious. Together, may we lean into our instinct for the preservation of life. May we lean into speculative underground hope and love that is ancient and raw and deep. May we be prisoners of hope even in troubled days. And may we remember that we have so many co-conspirators. May we remember that we are not alone. Amen. I invite us to join in singing together. Our hymn is number 55. It's Dark of Winter 55. As we close our service today, I want to offer some gratitude to John Middleton-Cox and to our vocal choir. Thank you so much, choir. We're missing Christina today. The memorial service for her mother was yesterday, so let's carry her in our hearts today. I want to thank our tech crew up in the balcony. Thank you. We got Steve and Raphael. All right. Thank you so much, our entire Sunday team today, our worship assistant, Betsy Black. Thank you to those who have brought latkes for our second Sunday lunch and Hanukkah party. We're going to have a lot of fun downstairs. So come downstairs, have some coffee, have some fried potatoes, and you'll be happy. Our closing words are by Ross Stafford. All we have to do is keep the fire burning for a little while. Stoke it with our lives, don't let it go out, and pass it on. We have no right to put it out. So may we keep our fires burning. May we keep our love and our hope burning in our hearts. May we bring some peace into the world and find peace in ourselves. Amen.